Hello again, Internet. Gonna do something relatively quick and kind of slapdash today because I only need to make it one time, so I don't want to get too into the weeds on it. Basically, it's just a mount for a soundbar to go under my monitor because the audio on the monitor is less than ideal. So I took some measurements in a notepad. I'm guessing this won't make sense to anyone that didn't take the measurements, but we'll work through them real nice and quick. All right, so I'm going to start, I think, just drawing the basic outside profile of the soundbar, which it's just this slot shape. And let's see here. It's 67.25, I believe. Oh no, it's this. That's how thick it is. And then for the length, I measured outside to outside, which I don't really have perfect points yet. So I'm just going to put in a line here. And see that automatically did midpoint. But sometimes when you click midpoints, it doesn't do it. So sometimes when you click midpoints, it'll just do a coincidence. So if you're not sure exactly where in the program it'll do what, it's best just to click it after you drop the constraint and just make sure it's a midpoint. Okay, so it's 650 long. All right, so I'll just there we go, and then it's that thick. Okay, so done with that. Then there are some screw holes in it. So my default part comes with this coordinate system because it just makes it easier for me to figure out where I was originally. Do you know what I mean? So this is like looking down at my 3D printer, and I feel like that's the way I want to think of things when I'm modeling them. All right, so on the bottom of this, there are going to be a couple of screw holes, and they're going to be centered. And we'll take this, make it for construction. So yeah, there's going to be a screw hole here and here. So I make those equal. And what I measured is this as the screw head diameter. Basically, the two screw heads were different diameters. Okay, so that works. Outside to outside is this. So that means that this is equal to that minus that. There we go. So we've got our two screw holes located at least. Now I don't actually want to use those though. But you know what? I'm going quick and dirty, so that'll actually be fine. We'll just make different size ones. I was thinking I would do a whole wizard and do it all correctly, but no, this is quick and dirty. I'm going to do an extrude cut for the screw holes. Ha ha ha. Okay, and see, it's an M5. It's that M5 by 0.8. So for metric screws, tap diameter is just. Oh, it'll help if it's on screen. Yeah, for metric screws, just take your nominal minus your pitch, and that's your tap diameter. Or it's at least very close. You don't have to use a lookup table. It's close enough that it makes no detectable difference when you're 3D printing. So, let's see. So this one is done with, and this one is done with, and. See, 45 minus 38 is the depth, so 45, 46, 47. So yeah, there's 7 millimeters max depth. We take a 1 off just for a little bit of clearance, so everything's always can get all the way tight and it never bottoms out. So just call that 6 and 6. Yes. Alright, so it's very oversimplified, obviously, but it'll be fine. Alright, so then This I'm not actually even going to model, I think. Well, might as well, I suppose. Just so I don't forget. So, but rather than like modeling the feet exactly right and how they are meant to be, I'm just going to do it real easy like this. So, let's take that to there. Take this one to that one. And like so. And like so. And then if I would select going this way, I only select those. And it won't. I also selected the dimension. Never mind. It's going to show you a neat trick, but yeah, never mind. So I'll just do it adding a few constraints. What's going on with this one? Come on. Why are you blue? Same deal over here. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is blue. But you know what? It's good enough. I'm not even going to bother trying to fix that problem because I don't really care. So 1.33. It's just like a very ugly, simplified representation just to remind me that the feet do exist. I'm not actually going to model around it. Okay. So then, what I've got going on right now for the mount of it, because this monitor did not come with a mount. It's just VESA mount, or it has like the swing out wall mount thing, but I wanted an actual mount. So I just made a mount out of 2040 and 2020 extrusion. So let me go here. I'm just going to kind of draw what I'm dealing with. Okay, so this is going to be 40 millimeters. This is going to be 100. This is going to be 118 minus 20. And this is going to be 20. Just go ahead and call this one 150. And go. This doesn't really matter, but I want it to have some constraints to hold it in place. All right. So then let's say I want to go. That's weird. Did I do an extrude offset or something on that? Or, oh no, I didn't merge that. Okay. Well, that's easy then. I can just hide it for now. That's way to go, past me. All right. So I want the sound bar to be a little bit above, so I don't want it like touching that because that'll make it rattle. So let's go like 1.5 millimeters above. It doesn't have to be a whole lot above. And then on this one, I want to go from here to here. I'm just going to stick it out like a couple of millimeters, I think. Let me see how that looks. Right. What if I even like dropped it down to, it's about as low as I feel like it's comfortable or safe going. And then let's see, if I go on this and I measure it. So I'm sticking out 1.64. So I can't make that perfect even if I, yeah, well, I could have just measured like that. 100.14 is more than 100. But we're nice and close. I'll call it 2. That way we get a little bit of wiggle room. And looking at this, I've got a good amount of wiggle room here. So I'm thinking I might add just a little bit to that too. Let's see, where is that dimension? Is that this? So if I can actually turn this into just a number like that, which is kind of neat, I'll just say it's 3. Okay, so that's all locked down, fully defined. Good. All right. So I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to make a new plane. let's see here, 592 divided by 2. Let me go over here. So I will sketch, and I'll say convert that, and I'll also say convert that. Well, that didn't quite do what I wanted, but good enough, whatever. Just convert all the things I want manually, I guess, and I'm going to trim, trim, and hopefully that lets me extrude. Hopefully I don't have anything on top of each other. Nope, everything looks good. So I'm not going to merge that. And I'm going to mirror it across like so. So then if I measure this to this, 592, 592, and use that as well. So I used all my dimensions up. So that's good. Let's see if I end up needing any more. Now this is 2020 extrusion, so it's got like slots for T-nuts or hammer nuts in there. Obviously I'm not showing that because I'm not going to bother modeling that. What I'm thinking is, if I can, I'm going to make a 3D printed part. But if I can't, we'll figure something else out. Let me just do a little bit of sketching to see what I'm dealing with. How far is it? If I make a printed part, 199 millimeters, so I can go up to 250 for a square, and a little bit more if I angle it on the bed by 45 degrees or so. So I can actually make printed parts for this. So it'll have to be 2 parts, one for either side. But I can do it. That's not a problem. So I'm going to, I'm just going to model one of them, I think. And I can mirror it later. Alright, so our screw hole is 5 millimeters. I'm going to leave a little bit of wiggle room because it's a 3D printed part. And do I want to completely cover the front or no? Actually, let me see this measurement here. 552. So I could actually print that if I wanted to go all the way to the middle. I'm not sure I do. Oh yeah, this will be the front. So I could print all the way up to here, just barely. And then I guess that looks like more professional and sealed, and stuff doesn't get stuck in there. So that's a big plus. On the other hand, I could just print to like right here, be a slightly smaller print. But it's going to be a big print anyway, so I will just go ahead and do the whole thing. Saying that now, I think I would want at least a little bit of a gap. If I've got a gap, I'm going to want it to be nice and clean, but I can't because it's all quick and dirty. Yeah, let's just stop overthinking this. And we'll go there, to there, to there. Let's do this quick and simple because that will be good enough. It's not like I'm selling a million of these. I'm printing one set for myself. Just gotta accept that good enough is good enough sometimes. Okay, so let me trim that. And there we go. So that goes, let's see, here. And it goes up to there. Okay, I don't want to merge that. And let's see here. Got a 16 mil in stock. This goes 6 deep. So that means I'd want it to be 10 millimeters of this before this get the head. So let me draw a circle here, and I'm going to make it a 10 millimeter hole because it's an M5 screw, which means it's got like a little under 10 millimeters, but it's best to leave just a little bit of extra room. So I want it to be 10 away from that, and I only want to apply to that. So then if I go from here to here, 16 millimeters, again, there's actually another millimeter in there, so I've got a little bit of compression room, shall we say. Alright, so how do I attach this to that? And why does it look bad? Because it looks bad, and I've got OCD, and I can't accept that it doesn't look perfect. So I'm gonna redo it correctly, and nothing you can say to stop me. All right. And if it's a little bit tight, it's a little bit tight. Let's give like the tiniest. I'll make this for construction. I'll give the tiniest amount of wiggle room gap, just because it's 3D printing, and also because I measured this manually by hand. So I make it 0.5. Got that again on the other side. We got a whole millimeter gap. That's plenty big enough, I think. All right. So then going to extrude up to the bottom here. And I don't want to merge with anything. All right. So then that, yeah, this isn't actually an issue till like over here. So this part here doesn't exist. So I'm fine with that. I am looking at this going, it's not quite right. So we will just go make this little triangle, make those equal. Extrude through all, and there we go. And then again we need to make the countersink. So that was 10 and also 10. And there we go. Then how do I attach it to over here? Well, could do something on the bottom, because that would be basically invisible. But I'd rather not. I'd rather have it something that I can remove easily without flipping the TV around, disconnecting all the cables, and yada, yada, yada. So I don't want to do that. Maybe I could have something where I reach in from the back or reach in from the front. I don't want to be reaching in from the front again, because it will look bad, right? Unless I make it so that it's a design feature instead of a design nuisance. So let's think about that. So let's see, I'd want a little bit of room here. Get these perpendicular. Alright, so I want a little bit of room from here to there. A little bit of material for the screw. So I can go 6 deep into the extrusion. At most, like I've got no wiggle room there. So if I make it 4.5, and I've got a little bit of wiggle room with a 10 millimeter screw. On the other hand, I've got lots of 12 millimeter screws. Okay. So then I just need to cut out a design. So let's say I go like that, make these parallel, make these perpendicular and equal, and I'll make this the midpoint with that, and I'll bring you down. And how much room do I want to have here? It doesn't need much. Say 2 millimeters should be good. And what else do I need? Need to know how big that is. Well, the screw head for an M4 screw, which is what I'll be using, is 8. So that should be enough, but I'm just going to go to 8.5 just to be sure. Alright. So Then we want to go like so. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do that. Coincident, parallel and equal, and they're both for construction. Make this for construction. Select these and that, and say mirror. Then I can draw these in. And how, let's see. You can make it however big I want that way. And how big is it? Like 16, I think? 19. Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem. Right, because it's centered, but it kind of shouldn't be centered, right? So let's say I go up like that and up like this. Eccentric. Make these both for construction. And I'll make these parallel. Alright, so if I went, I didn't need that line at all. If I put this there and I make this 8.5, it actually comes all the way down to there. Let's say I make it 8, because I don't really need the wiggle room if I'm doing it this way. So then I just coincident with that. And there we go. That should work better. Maybe. So then I'm going to want like a pattern of these. So I'm thinking like, get this out of the way. Maybe even go almost square with them. In fact, I'm just going to say equal, and then I'll remove that. Okay. So let's take these and say I want to do a linear sketch pattern, and I want to go this way, and start something like that. Just play with these numbers till it kind of looks right. Good enough. Alright, so then I want that to that to be equal to that to this to this. So let's make this perpendicular and grab these both. They're both for construction, parallel and equal. So that's a start. And then what if I just make these equal? What happens then? There's some big gaps, but it's not the end of the world. I don't know. I just do not know. This is 4.36. So let me just do a temporary dimension here. We'll do a temporary equal here. (15, 14, 13, 12, 11). Better. Alright, so here, I'll go here as well. And for construction, parallel and equal. And then we'll go equal over here. And there we go. We got a nice little pattern going. So these two can interrupt or could interfere with that screw, which I don't like that. Another issue, actually now that I'm looking at it, I want to be able to get a screwdriver or an Allen wrench in there. And that's not, I'm not making my job any easier, am I? I am not. Right, what if I went over the edge here? I've got tons of room here. Got how much do I have here? 27 millimeters. I've got tons of room. What if I go back to this sketch and I bring it up? So need 3 of clearance. Let's say I want to do something that's 5 thick. Let's just add 5. Actually, I don't need that much clearance, but we'll do 5 thick. That'll be Great. All right. So then let's go on here and draw this out. All right. And then so that's for the 10 millimeter, or that's for a 12 millimeter. Might as well do the 12 because why not? See if it likes this or not. It did not like that. Okay, so all these holes I'm not sure I'm actually going to need at all. Alright, meet with that. Okay, now issue is that's lower. Then I actually need to know where those pads are. I did not want to have to measure those, but I'm grabbing it now to measure those. It appears they're actually in here, in this area. Yeah, it's like they're just inside a tangent. And just pull out a ruler and get a quickie measurement. Say they're about 18 by 4. Okay, and they're about 1.33 thick. So I need to cut some material out here actually. So let's say I go like that. I go like that. That's 1.33, and it's alright if they're touching, it's not going to hurt anything, but it's 3D printed, so yeah, that'll work. And it needs to be, I'm just going to measure this, make this like 20 maybe, unless I can find a better way of measuring the location of these. It's hard. Just I don't really have tools that are good for measuring something quite like this. So if I hold up a ruler just right, it's anywhere from 55 to 53. Let's call it 54. Okay, let's just delete everything here. So it's about 54 to there. You'll let me grab it? Probably won't. Let me have it. Sometimes it's hard to grab things in SolidWorks. There we go. So it's about 54. So it's well inside there. Then how long did I say it was? Oh, let's say 18. And it was, I was going to give it 1.4, and then it's obviously right there. Alright, so that's about where I have to make room for feet. And I'm thinking I might just do a pattern of those. I don't know, I don't have to do a pattern. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with patterns today. Let's see, the innermost bit of the foot, about 20 millimeters in, and it's not and we're past the foot. And feeling around to see if there's any other spots. I don't see any other feet. So it goes in about 20 millimeters, and it'll be on this. And I'll reuse that same sketch again. With that, and I want to start back here, and I want to go inwards by 20 millimeters. Alright, let me hide this. So that go. See the outside of the foot, 5, 6, 7, about 7.5. I'm just going to call it 6. because I've got plenty of room to play with. Let me hide this sketch. I don't need that anymore. So 6. So then the feet, I'll just go into these little openings. And that way, it's easier to print these, obviously. Actually, I'm thinking I should cut these deeper. So I'm going to convert these, make them for construction. I'm going to offset them by 2. So I've got lots of wiggle room for the feet. And then I'm going to cut down another, why not, 2 millimeters. Go through all this way, select that. Alright, so now I've got these big cutouts, more than big enough for the feet. Over here I've got the screw hole. As I'm looking around at the back of this thing, that's about all I'm working with. Is I need to worry about the feet and screw holes. There's a little bit of an IR sensor at the bottom, but I think that's not an issue. Well, I would rather not cover the IR sensor now that I think about it. Okay, so let's do a little cut here. Go like so. How deep does the IR sensor go into this thing? Oh, about 14. And then how wide is it? Well, let's go from the origin over to here. How wide is it when I measure it? It is 40 millimeters, so 20 per side. And then, let's see, let's give this a nice angle too. So I'll make that for construction, and that equal, and do I want to cut all the way through? Not exactly, but let's see, since this is the bottom that I'm printing on, yeah, I do want to cut all the way through. So otherwise I have to angle out, which I can do, and it'll look better, so I will do. So there. Just go like 5 deep. Alright. Let me get this soundbar out of my way so I can work a little bit more comfortably. Alright, so let's say I do a triangle here and make that equal. So made a right triangle, and I'm going to try just extrude cutting up to here. I'm guessing this is not going to be what I want. And it's not bad. I think that'll work actually. Okay, so let's get this back here, and I guess we don't need these. These can just go away. All right. So we got that, and then we've got this going over the side, and we're going to fill it in. Up to here, and with that, and then, you know, can I just suppress this? Got away with it, I feel, but no, that was not good. So I don't actually need to suppress that now that I think of it. So I just want to go like that. How thick will this be? 2.14, that's thick enough. Alright, I'm going to go up to here. I'm going to merge like that. So now this thing covers up the end of the extrusion, which that's good by me. I've got a little access point for the IR. There's going to be some buttons on top, which I should be able to reach just fine. So then, how do I secure it? So, this is representing 20 millimeter or 20/20 extrusion for the foot, or the part that I'm actually right here. Which means that in the center of that, at 10 millimeters, I can put hammer nuts. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. Say those are equal. These are actually just going to be the holes that the screws go to. Okay. And let's say make it 15 from the front and 15 from the back. You select this chain, make it for construction. And I'm just going to extrude cut up to, get rid of that, clicked everything wrong, up to next on this. So there we go. So put a couple of screws in there, and should be good. Do I want to follow this? I really can't follow that, can I? So no, I do not want to follow that, but I can do the outside. So let's see here. Go like this. Make those equal. Then go from here to there. I'm going to make that, oh, I don't know, say 3.2. Still going to be most of it there. I'm going to cut that out like so. So now, if I have that piece, got the screw hole, so I'll have two of these either side, put the screws in, then I can drop it on the frame and put these screws in. Now, it's 20 millimeters, and that's 20 millimeters, but don't necessarily want it to be that size. I want it to be a little bit bigger. So let me go like that, and go like that. And what if we made an extra, 0.2? Get plenty of room to play with that way. So I'm going to extrude cut by 0.2, and then I'm going to go through all in the other direction. And just only apply that. And then I've got the holes for mounting, and that's basically it. I just need to clean it up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm going to do 0.4 on that face, that face, that face. Not going to do the whole face, just going to do that part. Just going to do that part. Those are already done. And I can do these two. And I want that. And anything else need doing? I guess we'll do that as well. And I'll do these, because why not? Right, let's see how that looks. Right, everything's got a nice little chamfer on the edge, makes it look just a little bit nicer when you put it all together. 0.4 is the absolute minimum I like to do with that, but I could probably get away with a little bit more on this one. Just let's try go 1.2. I think that'll make it look like fully finished, so to say. Although it does clip into that, so that's too much. 0.8 maybe. All right, how far away is that? 0.54. That's good enough. That's really more than I want still. I'll go back to 0.8. That works. All right. So if I take this, let's say I want to mirror that. All right, and if I do like so, just fill in this area where the screen would be, even though the screen is not this thick, it's just representation. So I can, looking at it, most of the screen is maybe in like the first 20 millimeters. So I'll go a little bit more than that just for sanity. Alright, so that's a lot more like it is. So I can get at the controls on the top very easy. In the back there's some plugs coming out. I can get at those perfectly easy. There's nothing in the way. And let's see, what else can we do? Well, let's talk about just reducing the print cost a little bit maybe. So if I go back to before the mirror, just hide that. So if I were to empty all this out, I think I could save quite a bit of printing. Problem is it's going to be less strong if I do that. But I can do some. So let's say, give plenty of room. I'm going to give 4 maybe. Okay. And let's offset this by like 3.2. That's like full thickness basically. It's 3.2 that as well. Then if I go like this, I just totally missed my target. That's totally what I wanted to do. And then like that. So I'm going to go tangent and tangent and tangent. Bring you over here. Go tangent with you too. Alright. So then bing, 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 bing. Offset from surface, which is that's an issue. Extrude up to surface. Okay, I'm going to extrude up to surface. I'm going to take this, 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 and this. I don't want to merge. Let's say I offset surface, and I'm just going to grab a bunch of these surfaces like so. I'm going to do 3.2, yeah. And like so. So now if I take that and split and that, okay. So now I can combine, subtract, take this, that, this, and that. And I'll hide this. I can delete these and that. Alright. So that does open it up to the feet, but I don't really care about that. That's not a problem. Alright. This. That's weird. It says 0. Let me see if I go into here. Bump the unit precision way up. Still says 0. I do not know. Sometimes it just does weird stuff like that. It's not an angle, it's normal, but the distance is 0. So I'm not going to worry too much about that because it's not going to translate to the print. What I am going to do is I'm going to add some fillets in here, and just small ones. They don't need to be that big. I want to put them in here just for sake of strength, even though this thing is like already ridiculous overkill in strength. I will do it anyway. And just keep clicking. So 3, 4, 4, 4. Alright, so it's nice and clean inside. Alright. And I'm thinking alright, so the two of them are going to be connected by using just the screws here, which means that they're going to want to touch. They're going to want to touch the desk. I don't want them to touch the desk. That's going to make them rattle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not let them touch the desk. So let's see. Let's go here, And I'm going to go from here all the way over to there. And I'm just going to cut by just a single millimeter off. Cut 1 millimeter off, and we're good. This is going to make this chamfer break. Okay, but that's fine. So that is good. If we go here and here and here and there and here too, why not? Okay. Now if we hide everything except for that, let's make sure it looks right. And ignore these lines. It's because I did that split, but 3D printer won't know the difference, so I don't really care. Oh, speaking of that, 302 millimeters. Ha ha ha. Yes, it's too big. I think. Let me double check. Let's go collinear. And we'll go collinear. I'm almost certain this is too big, but we'll just to be sure. Yes, it is definitely too big. Back to the drawing board, or something to that effect. Let's get rid of these. And basically I need to go back to before that existed. Which is really annoying. So I don't need that. I do need those though. Can I suppress this though? I can. Alright. Bring these back in one by one. And we'll see what this was. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. I don't know if I'm going to... I'll save that for now. So... Alright, so let's suppress that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to suppress that. So then, let's see here. Let's make that junk 3. Let's see if I suppress this and bring that back. That's that. So that's going to be gone. That's going to be gone. What's this? Those are the holes. We can suppress those. That's the cut. Alright, so if I suppress this, all the other chunks should suppress. And that I can delete too. Just keep suppressing these, go back to figuring out what all went wrong. So that's the, when I emptied it out, let's see the sketch. You know, nothing's really changed, has it? Okay. And, should be 4 separate regions, right? What's going on? Why is that one region? That's weird. Let me see. Coincident. And this should be coincident as well. Now it's fully defined. And it's 4 separate regions. Okay, good. Alright. And all the junks are still suppressed. All the chunks are still suppressed. All the chunks are still suppressed. Get rid of... Change this, I guess. So we get rid of that, and let me hide this. Then I can select the ones I want to get rid of. There we go. And unsuppress, continue. Fillet's got an issue. It's okay, because we can fix those issues. Okay, so alright, or we can just replace them in certain places when they don't want to fix. What's that? Something weird there. It's already like that. Okay. Well, it's chamfered, not. So we just convert that, inner loops, do for construction. Well, control that. Let me just take this and this and this and convert. And I do one of these. Go tangent, tangent. And then let's trim off the excess and just say equal. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm doing it on the other side, so I can do it on this side too. No worries. Alright, and then this is printing with this on the bottomness, which means I'll just cut out that, and yeah, that's fine. I don't really mind that much that it's off now. Alright, then let's see, we can get rid of these two. We don't need those. Then we can do a mirror, like so. So those are back to being an acceptable size, I believe. 275. It's still big. It's still big. How big was this between these? 552. So, 275. Is that going to be too big? It might be. Let's see. We'll do a collinear over here. We'll do a coincident up here. Do a 255. And we'll do an equal. Okay, that is, it's too big, but I can address that, I think. So what if I like cut out this whole section here? You know, I'm just gonna suppress these. Suppress. And suppress. And suppress. Nope. Let's unsuppress that. Alright, so let's say I go to the sketch here. And see, I have no problem cutting this back like so. I'm perfectly comfortable doing that. So let's say I go from here to there. I only need like 3.2. There we go. And we'll go equal. That'll work. Let's just extrude cut through all on this. Now, I think I've got a little bit more room to play with. Let's say I go like this. Alright. And these are going to be equal. There's going to be a coincident over here. And then, let's say we make it about 252, which I can barely squeak out of my printer, just barely. Alright. So, if I made this angle come down, let's see here. What if I made that like so? Then I can fit it. So that works. I've got a good range of area that I can get away with that. All right, so that's printable. That's all I need to do is to get it to printable. So let's move that down there and unsuppress that. And you don't like that? Yeah, it's that body. Yeah. All right. So yeah, no one sees back here. Doesn't matter. I suppose I could even cut back even more. Really, save some material, right? Might as well. Just go tangent to here, and let's go like this, and tangent. All right, and a coincident there for construction here, and 6.5 there. There we go. No one's going to see it. It looks like it'll work better. So, easy win. Now the thing that I'm running into is how do I attach this now? Because remember, the whole reason we added this thing around the outside was to make it easier to attach. So now I need to think, like, and I actually do not have a plan on this. I've got to kind of figure it out as I'm going. How do I get this attached? So, let's see. I'm going to go like this. So I need a cutout for the screws. So I'm going to be using 12mm screws. The heads, I'm not sure if they're socket or button head, so I'll just assume socket because it's taller. So it's an M4. Head is 4 tall. Screw is 12 long. So that's 16 total. And I'm going to want a little bit of like wiggle room on that. Plus I need room for the wrench. That's the big thing. I need room for the wrench. So say I go this is 6.5 also. And then let's show this and convert that. Or even I can just go tangent to it. I don't need to convert it. Alright. So then I can extrude cut 3.2 offset from there. See how this looks. Okay, that's good, I think. Yeah, that's fine. So it's still supporting it with the screws. In fact, I can even cut a little bit more material off right here. And I'll take this one and convert it and cut it all the way off. There we go. Let's hide that. Got a basic thing. So now I can put in screws. Only issue is I have to like lift up the TV to do it. But I'm just not seeing a good way to avoid that. So I'm just gonna have to accept that it's not going to be exactly perfect. Again, this is a one-time build, one-time use. It'll be fine. Let's take a couple circles here. These are going to be my screw holes. Normally I do 4.2. That's a nice tight fit when it's 3D printed. I'm going to bump it up to like 4.4. So that they're like a little bit looser. Just typing numbers in until it looks right to me. That looks right to me. Okay. That is good, I think. So we don't need that little tab there, right? and it's not hurting anything, but we don't need it. So let's cut it off. Well, yeah, it's a potential rattle point because it's just so thin. All right, and actually, if we're gonna do that, let's go back to before these. Convert, and we'll go like this to there, or there. Yes, go to there. Just slice a little bit off, a little bit at a time. So, all right, and then on this, I'm just going to go from there to there. Just so I'm not trying to print an overhang. Don't need this either. All right. So we've got the main bit where it screws on. Got there. Got to get some holes. And we'll delete that because that doesn't exist anymore. And then we'll put it right there. There we go. So that screws in. Should I put in a wall in the back? It's going to make it a lot stronger, which is the only reason I'm doing it. So let's delete those. And we'll do the offset. We'll take a couple of lines to connect them. Lines, thank you. Sometimes when they're too close, that like doesn't register for some reason. And up to surface, like so. Beautiful. Then we add these, which will give me another error. Just like get rid of that. And let's move this out of the way so I can grab this and this together. There we go. So screws in there nice and good, screws in there nice and good. So I'm thinking to get these installed, you have to lift up the TV. To get these installed, you have to lift up the TV. If I can get these two installed to the sound part, and then I can lift up the TV to do these on one side, lift it up on the other side to do these. And it's a bother, but I guess how often have I got to change my sound bar, right? Alright. So this part here is the last body, of course. And do just the simpler version of it this time. Like so. And you can have that and that. Did not like that one. Okay. Not there. Can do that. Not there or there. I'll get that because it's on the bottom. Get that because it's on the top. And I suppose we can do this whole like that. Alright. Now we've got a slight issue here because these are overhangs. I can't just fill them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out angles. So let's see. Just convert that for now. I'm going to make a triangle. Now I will make this coincident with that. Then I'll make these perpendicular and equal. Alright, so I will extrude this, starting from here up to there. And I will not merge it. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So say like that. These are perpendicular and equal. These are going to be collinear. If I can grab that. If I can grab that, there we go. This will be coincident. This will be coincident. Then I will extrude up to here and not merge. We'll hide that. Alright, so then let's go line, 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 line. We'll do a coincident. And we'll do an extrude cut through all. And that. See how that looks? Okay. So then, say I convert that, I convert this, and I make it all for construction. And I can go like so, make these perpendicular, through all on this one. We'll combine these two, and we'll show this. We'll combine, subtract, and I'll select it from the menu because I can't click it there. Alright, so now there are no overhangs, it's all at 45 degrees. Should be very happy about that. Now, I think I've actually got my design done. Let's see. I want to mirror it. No new errors there. That's good. And again, these are actually back here, but I don't really need to model that right now, I don't think. I just need to print these two parts, and I will be good to go. Well, I thought I was ready to go, but I was not. I was wrong about that. Because I want to go back to here, and I forgot one thing I did. So I just cut this down by 1 millimeter. That way it's not touching the table. But I'm actually thinking maybe a little bit more than that I even want. Let's say 1.5. Then this chamfer is going to give me trouble, but that's okay. So I'm just going to go like that, and like that, and like that, and like that. And then everything is good again. Then I can go down to here and hope everything's happy. No, nothing's happy. Great. Everything's mad. What's wrong with this? Let's go roll back to that. It's very, very much not happy with me now. Alright. Then this is sketch damaged. Sketch seems to be fine. Except for that. Okay, and that one, and then that one, and all those, and then that, and then the mirror, and now everything seems to be happy. So yeah, we have to fix problems sometimes when we make changes further back in the design, but that's fine, that's fine. So I've got that all set up. I can print these. And let me see what it tells me when I run it through the slicer. Well, it's all sliced, or at least half of it is sliced. Obviously it'll be basically the same, just mirrored for the other part. We're looking at a little bit of time printing. Between the two parts, be about a whole day, and about 240 grams of material, which, I mean, that's a good amount, but considering that I got the TV and the soundbar for free, and I just need to find a way to stand them up and put them together, then a little bit of old 3D printed parts for the extrusion, some 3D printed parts to make everything come together, and I've got a really nice setup for very little effort. So I think I'm pretty good with this. I'm going to print them out, and assuming everything goes together fine, this will be the end of the video, and if things don't go together fine, I'll come back and fix it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again for the next video. Until then, goodbye, Internet.